This is Grace with Graceful Living. Today we are having the second part of a composting video that I posted a few weeks ago with master gardeners Phyllis and Curtis. If you want to check out the first video, it's on YouTube. I couldn't post it on Instagram because it was too long. Phyllis is going to show us some different ways to compost now. So this is a separate area, separate, different kind thing.
This is a different type of composting.
Okay.
It's the same formula. It's the container. This has no container.
Sure.
And
how does that work?
It actually works very, as long as we stay to the formula, it works very well.
Sure. Phyllis did mention some minuses, namely that sometimes the compost will fall down on the side because it's not in a container, and therefore it'll be hard to get the volume correct. Phyllis is going to show us now how to flip the compost pile with Curtis. This provides more oxygen, and they water it while they flip it. While they are flipping the compost pile, an egret appears. This bird likes to eat insects that often appear in the compost pile. So the egrets eats roaches too?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't eat everything. He likes grubs.
And he likes centipedes?
He loves centipedes. Grubs are white. They eat your vegetables, and that's why you don't want them in your garden. You don't want them in your garden. Phyllis,
if egrets also eat black soldier fly larvae.
Like black soldier flies, that's in worm bins generally.
Yes, yes.
Because it doesn't get to temperature. See, this gets to temperature, it kills it off. It cannot make it. So I don't know if the
thing will eat that.
Will eat it. It likes to go after things that move.
Sure.
But I have actually, I take it back. I have had soldier flies in my home compost area, and that's because I don't follow the formula.
Yes.
So my compost at home takes a year to complete.
I asked Phyllis how long it would take the compost pile to compost without turning it. Compost.
Oh, maybe a year.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible.
No, but if you only have so much space in your garden.
That's true.
You know? So I'll take it back. Mine probably was done in 8 months, and I just haven't.
And you just don't turn it? Oh.
Well, I haven't sifted it. That's my plan. Every time you add to it, the clock starts sticking out.
Yes.
For temperature. But, and that's why it's good to have 2 compost bin areas, so that you can always have one
that's working.
Yeah.
I asked Phyllis if adding soil might speed up the composting process.
No. The soil, I don't think it'll make it faster. The soil does provide bugs and microorganisms.
Yeah, so you can do it for that reason.
It also compacts it, and so it won't provide for good
aeration.
Okay, so you saw how fast that was, and you see the aerated pipe. So we're going to cover it up. And the egret probably doesn't like us covering it up, but that's the way it goes. Makes it harder for him to eat.
Yeah.
You can get the shade cloth from Home Depot, City Mill, all kinds of hardware stores.
This shows us another compost bin, which is nice because you can adjust it as the compost pile gets smaller over time as it composts. I mentioned you can buy the bin at Amazon, and then you can buy the spikes at Home Depot.
I like it is because as it contracts, as it gets smaller, you can make your pile smaller. And again, we want to kind of keep it as compact as possible. So that we are going to flip it. If you have 2 containers, then you can set one up here first and then put it in there. That would be the ideal method. But if you don't have that method, you don't have that resource, then you just unfurl it here.
Nice.
So we look at it and say, okay, how small will it be? Actually, that's probably a very nice size. So we're going to try to make it in the same size.
So how often do you ideally flip the compost?
So Rick's pile, the one we just saw, was about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. These piles here, we probably have flipped it once every couple months.
Sure.
And it would be better to flip it more often, but that's the reason why we poke holes to water it once a week.
Yeah.
So that it provides for the ventilation and some water moisture. If you looked at it when we were poking it or watering or moving it, it was actually kind of dry.
Sure.
Beyond the first 1 inch.
I asked Phyllis what she is using for ventilation piping in the compost. Piping?
No, it's actually they call it drainage piping.
Okay.
You can use PVC, but I'll tell you, it's a lot more expensive
Hot.
and it's a lot harder to cut.
Yeah.
So this is a much cheaper, and the PVC pipe doesn't have any holes.
Sure.
These have them.
Here you see Phyllis and Curtis are drawing the compost pile. Here you see Curtis and Phyllis are sifting the compost. It makes a better planting medium when you sift the compost because it eliminates the lumps and clumps, making sure that only finished compost goes into the soil. Sifting also aerates the compost, improving the soil structure. So how do you use the compost in your garden? Phyllis explains how she puts the compost on the top.
I'm going to put everything up on top.
Yes.
So I put cardboard down first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put 4 to 6 inches of finished compost.
Oh.
A variety of compost. And compost can also include chicken manure.
Sure.
Or horse manure or stuff like that. But it has to be finished.
Yes.
And I should take that back. You can have the bottom layer not so finished, but the top layer, top 2 to 3 inches have to be finished.
Okay. I'd like to thank Phyllis and Curtis for teaching us about composting. Hopefully after this video you will no longer throw away your food waste and you can use it in your garden from now on. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe or follow me on Instagram. Please go to graceinhawaii.com for more information.